connecting your brain and body with interactive games and tests. Why is there no physical activity in today's health physical? Trazer is an holistic technology used to rehabilitate, prevent falls, and improve sport performance. Trazer reports provide you, your clinician, your physical therapist, or athletic trainer objective data to make decisions on your health and performance over time. Measure what matters to change your game. Take the Trazer Challenge. Confidence, growth, connected by Trazer.
At Fusion Sport, we're all about driving human performance. We develop and support a range of technologies all designed to assist people to be their best. SmarterBase is used by hundreds of elite sporting organisations across the globe, and more recently has been used by the military and performing arts as well.
Our SmarterBase technology has at the heart of it an integrated and connected philosophy. What's different about SmarterBase is that it's truly flexible and self-engineerable. That really puts the power into our customers' hands, and it allows them to use it in unique ways that perhaps we haven't even thought of.
Between ourselves and the rest of the field, but here comes Jemmy Stone.
What's going on, everybody? Man, Eric Wilson in here for the Sports Arena on a Monday night. It's the last Monday in October. Can you believe it? Wow. We are almost, almost halfway through the NFL season, and so much is going on. So much is happening. The WNBA just finished up. The NBA is starting. The NHL is starting. And, of course, we're about halfway in the NFL. It's been just wild. But let me get the crew in here because we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're actually discussing, if you will, the 4 C's this evening: the Chiefs, the Cardinals, Cincinnati, and unfortunately, those doggone Cowboys. But enough about that for now. Let's get the crew in here. First off, we got our girl, the Queen of Hoops, NBA Sip Off, the Sip Off, the NBA Carousel, 806 Sports, Sideline Sports. This is our girl, Megan Price. What's up, Megan?
How you doing? I wore my Rangers shirt to let everybody know I'm not supporting their World Series.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's Atlanta and Houston, right?
Right.
And you see, that's why I'm in black. I'm in black for many reasons, but that's
yeah. No, I don't support that World Series.
No, neither do I. Let me say it again, Zone, Mr. Ty Ray, every Tuesday night, 8:30.
I mean, if I was a Philly fan, I'd be in black too. But that's nevertheless, you know, I'm having a good day despite the loss last night.
I am. Thank you very much. I have a public service announcement. Once we get our man, Fox Sports 1340 AM, Mr. John Shear in the building. Good evening, sir. What's up, John?
Hey, this Monday Night Football game isn't very exciting, is it? Besides Alvin Kamara and DK Metcalf's long touchdown, there's been nothing.
Yeah, not as exciting as your game was yesterday, but you know, it is what it is.
Hey, it was fun to watch.
So while I got all of y'all here, Mike will not be joining us tonight. He actually has a number 1 versus number 2 going on game that he's calling, so he will not be joining us. But yeah, I'm in black for this reason and this reason only. So public service announcement to all those watching here on the Sports Arena tonight. Unless either Howie Roseman gets fired, or somehow, some way, Philly makes the playoffs, I am done with my team for this season. Don't call me. Don't text me.
Nah. Don't make me play that video, E. I still got that video.
Until Deshaun Watson gets to Philly.
I have it too. And you can play it all day long, but I'm telling you right now, for this season, unless my team fires Howie Roseman or we somehow make our way and get the number 7 seed or win I don't know how we're going to do it, but we ain't going to do it. Don't call me and text me about my Philadelphia Eagles. I know how bad we are. I know how bad we are this season. I'm officially, that's it. Game over.
So can I ask a question?
Please.
Well, I ain't trying to be funny.
No.
What made you think y'all was going to be good this year?
I did not think we were going to be good this year.
So when we pick records, what'd you pick?
I said 9-8. I either said 9-8 or 10-7 because of our division. Number one,
but 10-7
I did not know
is
Dallas
good.
was going to be Dallas. I knew what the Giants were going to be. I knew what Washington was going to be. Looking at our schedule, I honestly believe we could pull off 6, 7, possibly 8 wins. We might upset a team or two. So that's why I went at least 500. And I said it would come down to the
you can't go 500 in a 17-game season.
Well, okay, right. You're right, John. So I said it would come down to the last game between us and Dallas to determine who was going to go to the playoffs.
How's that looking?
It's yeah. I owe James Harris some push-ups if y'all keep going the way you're going.
So how is 10-7 not a good record? I don't understand that.
No, 10-7 is a
no.
record.
He said 10-2 is a good record. I guess with emoji, I can't tell what kind of emoji it is on here, but.
Oh, who said 10? I'm not even looking. See, I'm not even looking at the comments. See,
I don't see why it's not a bad record.
No, that's a good record. That's a good season.
So yeah, but I don't see it. So if Howie Roseman gets fired, I'll be back.
For them, 8-9 is a good record.
Right now, 7-10 might be a good record.
We've seen a ton of criticism of Jalen. Like, what are your thoughts on it? Like, I know there's a lot of fans that want to move past it. He's played, how many games has he started?
He's going into game 12.
12?
I think his 12th game. Yeah.
So are you ready to criticize him, or are you still trying to
No. Listen, Jalen, no, I want to see what Jalen's going to do. And I just feel like right now it's the coaching and the front office. Those are our two problems. I said this when Doug Peterson got fired. It should have been a clean slate. Someone posted that earlier, and I said the exact same thing. Yep. When Doug got let go, Carson should have been gone. Howie should have been gone.
Yep.
2 out of the 3 are gone.
It's the way you do it in football.
Right.
Speaking of Carson, he didn't look too bad last night. But
he did not. He did not look that bad.
But again, you're playing with Frank Wright, a head coach who was at the time your offensive coordinator, who knew and understood your strengths and could cater to those to make you successful. You just had to go out there and execute. Yes, James, I know our front office is horrible. You ain't got to remind me. I already know. I just said that.
But to touch on Megan's question, she said, I mean, it's not all in Jalen Hurts because the offensive line has been banged up all year. They weren't great to start with, and they've been banged up all year.
We haven't been consistent.
Right, but they've been hurt too. Lane Johnson's been in and out of the lineup, so which is big. That's a big loss. And then the play calling has been dreadful. When you give Miles Sanders 2 carries in a game, that's inexcusable. It doesn't matter what game it is, if it's against the Bucs or whoever. You can't give a guy with that kind of talent 2 carries in a game. That is there's no way that can happen.
So, John, I'm curious. Last year, when the offensive line was banged up,
yep.
And the weapons were still the weapons that they got, and the play calling was the same. Why you didn't give Winston the same energy? Huh? Y'all was talking about he was terrible, he was done.
Carson Wentz.
Did you watch him mentally?
Bro, he had no weapons. The line was terrible.
Panthers, he's checked out.
Man.
Don't act like he's not fragile. He's fragile.
Fragile.
I mean, he's fragile. I got it. But you got him behind the offensive line. Who wouldn't be fragile?
True.
Okay. Jalen Hurts isn't fragile.
Not yet.
He's balling.
Not yet.
He's trying.
We are talking about my team. So I'm going to get the last word, and then we are going to move on because this is not what we're discussing tonight. Okay. But I appreciate y'all trying to help brother out. Show me
because I just feel like that it's hard to, and I said this last year, and everybody was like, "You crazy." It's hard to judge. It's hard to judge any quarterback.
Well, I haven't made
on that team, and
I haven't made a determination on what Wentz is for me personally yet. I haven't seen enough of a sample size to make a determination. And how bad the Eagles are this year isn't on him, in my opinion. I think that Sirianni is puffing out his chest and trying to show everybody what he can do, and I don't care for that because he's not the offensive coordinator, and he's taking over the play calls. You're a brand new head coach. You have zero experience, and you're trying to puff out your chest and flex your muscles. Nah, that's not how it works, especially not in Philly. That's not how you do it in Philly. You get run out of town real quick doing that.
And people saying Wentz wasn't good. And people saying Wentz wasn't good last night. He did what needed to be done.
All right.
He did.
You and Chuck can have that conversation tomorrow on Say It Again.
Screw Chuck.
And I'm gonna be be tuned in to see how that goes. But let's get to some other teams here, and I'm going to start with Kansas City. I know we asked the question after Lamar Jackson beat them, if there was a cause for concern, if you will. Now I'm going to ask y'all, after seeing the first 7 weeks of this season, how do we feel about Kansas City, and has anybody ready to push the panic button?
I'm going to say yes. It's a huge problem. It's looking like they're not going to repeat a Super Bowl appearance, much less win it. And if they're even going to make it to, their conference or their league championship game, like it's looking like they're in major trouble. Now, Patrick Mahomes has had a major slump. It was time, honestly. Almost every quarterback, almost every player has a year after one of their first couple of years where they do really well and then they have a slump. We call it the sophomore slump. Now, it's not his second season, obviously, but it was almost time for a slump. So I don't blame this on him, but the Chiefs invested in only their offense over the last 2 years. They haven't invested anything in their defense.
Chris Jones. They spent a lot of money on Chris Jones.
Okay,
a lot.
But that's it. And they invested in 6 other players on their offense.
Yes.
So they haven't done much for their defense. But Patrick Mahomes has had at least one turnover in the past 6 games and multiple turnovers in the last 3 games. There's something majorly wrong going on in Kansas City.
All right. So, Tyree, you seem to be getting a lot of heat this evening coming from your crew. I say it again. James is saying when you get on this note, Chuck said you get bougie when you on here with me. James is saying you speak like that when you get on another show. And then our boy 3-point conversion zone, Mr. Danny Thompson's like, why aren't we talking about them 3-3 Falcons, Danny? Because they 3-3.
You beat my team who has one win.
I called ACL to win that game. First of all,
they will forever be the Falcons.
Yes.
On this show. Danny, we're not talking about that crap. That's irrelevant. As far as the Chiefs go, I think it's a combination of a few things. I think teams have kind of figured out what they're doing. Andy Reid need to switch it up. Everybody always talk about how he's a guru, but they're keeping them safeties deep. They're letting everything go underneath, so you're not able to get the Tyreek Hill on the big plays. They're doing a great job with Kelsey this year. They're not really. I think they need to run the football more. I think maybe that would help and kind of mix it up a little bit. Hey, James Harris, well, you.
Mm-hmm.
But
he quick.
Just talking about I'm bougie, but his team finally doing good. And now he want to run them lips. But I tell you what, I have the last laugh. But as far as the Chiefs go, like I said, man, I think they need to run the ball more. And then, why are you wearing a foul? Ah, man, shut up, Danny. I'm getting tired of these jokers, boy. But
they eating you up tonight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Going in on you.
But then yesterday, he got hurt, man. I was a beneficiary of that in fantasy too because I was playing against him. So I ain't mad at that. But going forward, am I going to push the panic button? No. Okay. If it's still like this by week 8 or 9, I'm pushing.
It is week 8.
Week 8.
Week 8.
Yes, we're going into week 8,
but they're only. What's the record? 3 and 4.
3 and 4. Yeah.
3 and 4.
7 games. If it's like this by week 10, I'm pushing the button.
All right. So
their pass rush is punchless. They've done nothing.
But it's been. I mean, the defense has been
questionable.
They've been living off takeaways.
True.
You know what I'm saying? The defense has never been good, but they lived off takeaways. But
right, like the Saints when they won the Super Bowl, opportunistic.
Yeah, takeaway. Yeah.
So that's what you're calling them, John? You're calling them
opportunistic. That's what they've always been. And Ty said everything about the Chiefs that's true. I mean, he spoke on every single thing about the Chiefs. What's wrong with them? And Megan said it too. When they spent the money on Mahomes' contract, when they spent the money on Chris Jones and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, they had to. But guess what? We all knew this was coming. I thought it was going to be after this year. I didn't think it would be this soon. I thought this would be the last year where they would be elite and then they would fall off the table somewhat because of it's like when the Miami Heat. Remember when the Miami Heat had LeBron, Wade, and Bosh?
Right.
Those three were amazing.
Top heavy.
Everything else was basically the veterans minimum on the team.
Right.
And so they were bringing off the scrap heap. Birdman was they revitalized his career, but he was a dumpster fire. They had nothing there. That's what the Chiefs are. But you know what I mean? Like basically the team was.
He's saying they was top heavy. Yeah.
So the Chiefs are doing that. Yeah, you have your stars, but once, like Ty said, and we talked about this in our chat today. Once you take away the over the top, you force the Chiefs to play small ball. And then Patrick Mahomes is getting frustrated. He wants that big home run ball. That's what he wants. And teams are frustrating him by taking that away and forcing him to beat you underneath. They don't have a run game. Once you slow down Tyreek Hill, he's been banged up. Then you force Byron Pringle, force DeMarcus Robinson, you force other guys that aren't very good. They just are quick, basically. You force them to beat you, and that's how you beat the Chiefs. And then you attack their defense, like the Titans did. You attack their defense, you score on them, you put the pressure on Mahomes to throw the ball, and you know that that's the only thing they can do. They can't run it. They do exactly what Ty and Megan said. They turn into this one-sided team, and Mahomes can only save you for so long. I mean, no team is going to last forever with that type of philosophy. You just can't do it in the NFL. That's why the NFL, there's so much parity.
So James Harris is making this statement, and I want all of us to comment on this statement right here. James Harris is saying Chiefs will not make the playoffs.
I'm not saying that.
I'm not ready to say that.
I can't say that. I mean, I agree with what Chuck's saying. He said they lost 5 games the year they won the Super Bowl. Now, do I think they'll make it back to the Super Bowl? I don't know. But playoff football is like playoff basketball. It's just so different in the sense of we haven't seen Lamar really beat them in the playoffs yet. The Chargers, maybe Herbert is too young, but
Lamar is part of that Cincinnati discussion, and I'm having to eat crow.
But I'm not ready to panic on the Chiefs. But at the same time, the thing is, you have to look at the game inside the game. The blueprint is there. Like, it is there. You see it with how the Bills play them. You see it with how the Ravens play them. You see it with how the Chargers play them. All these teams are starting to follow the same blueprint on how to beat the Chiefs. And the Chiefs aren't adjusting. They're not changing what they're doing, like Ty said, and it's catching up to them. There's no creativity anymore because we all know what they're doing.
Okay. All right. So let's move on from a team that we are almost hitting the panic button on. Megan is, the rest of us are not, because I'm not hitting it yet. I still believe in, Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce. If one of those three were to not be a factor in the Kansas City Chiefs offense, yes, at that point, then I would be like, okay, hit the panic button because Chad Henne ain't going to get it done for you. I know they coined the phrase last year, anything is possible, but I just don't see it.
Not unless they play Cleveland.
Yeah, pretty much. So let's move on then to the Arizona Cardinals, who are undefeated. And I want to go back, and I'm going to pull it up as we're having this conversation and see what we all gave the Arizona Cardinals as our preseason prediction, because we are just wrong. I mean, I'm talking about, and I mean that in a good way, because this team, I know like I said, we're coming up to the halfway point, but they are undefeated. And it now seems like even with, the defense, I mean, J.J. Watt, I can't tell you the last time I've seen J.J. Watt this energized and still playing. Normally he's on the sideline cheering for the team to win and pull out victories. This brother is still on the field, okay? And now it's one of those things that I have to ask the question, is Arizona going to win the NFC and represent in the NFC? Because after watching what I watched, arguably, even with, Baltimore, and we'll get to them in a moment, before Sunday, I was saying to myself, it could be Arizona and Baltimore in the Super Bowl. Just based on play, John. But let's get to Arizona. Let's talk about how good Arizona is and where we feel they're going to be at. And Johnson, you want to make that screw face on me, I'm going to let you go first.
I mean, you said Baltimore, but remember, Baltimore beat Detroit with a miracle 66-yard record field goal. So, I mean,
is a W.
I know, but, and the Cardinals beat the Texans, chill.
A W is a W. I don't care how you get it. A win's a win. And when you are the last team to go undefeated, the only team that has not been beaten yet, and the fact that you are on a short week, you play Green Bay, and Devontae Adams might not be able to play this Thursday because he's on the COVID list. I mean, it's opening the door. We said it last week. You don't have to be good all 18 weeks, 17 weeks, whatever it is.
Right.
Sometimes things just fall into place for you.
I mean, I'm not going to overreact to the Cardinals being 7-0 because last year Pittsburgh was 11-0 to start their season. True. And you go ahead and look up how they finished last year. Remember, they got stomped by the Browns in the first round. So just because you start hot doesn't mean that you finish hot. Yeah, they're 7-0. They had some luck, and they did beat the Rams, which was their statement win. But we've seen in the NFC West this year, all the road teams are beating the home teams in their divisional matchups for the most part. So the Rams are going to give it to them whenever they play again. Don't make no mistake about that. I know they're 7-0, but I have to see more. I mean, because they got nice weapons outside of DeAndre Hopkins, and he hasn't done great this year, but they have no run game. That's my issue with them, is they don't have a run game. And when you get to the playoffs, you have to be able to run the football. We're talking about them representing the AFC or the NFC, I mean. You have to be able to run the football, and they can't run the football. That's my concern with them, is you got to be able to do that, and they don't know how to do that, and that's their Achilles heel.
All right. But, I mean, listen, John, if they get 3 more wins, you and I owe Arizona an apology, okay?
If they get 2 more wins.
if they get 2 more wins, you owe them an apology. I still got y'all can suck the rest of the second half of the season. If they get 3 more wins, I got to be like, yo, I was wrong. And, I mean, listen, no one knew that Russell Wilson wasn't going to be able to he had an injured finger. I mean, we base these off of everybody being healthy the entire season.
Right.
But I'm just looking at this right now, and I'm saying,
man, I gave San Fran too much love. Oh, what that was, I think
10-7. You feel
tie him 13-4.
Well, that's
hey, look, man, you might want to go back and look at a lot of your picks, John. I'm pretty sure a lot of them.
And we're just talking NFC West right now.
But they ran for 172 yards yesterday. Granted, it was the Texans, but I mean, you got.
But they're not a running football team.
But I mean, you got 2 backs that a lot of teams will take. You got James Conner, or is it John Conner? I don't know.
James Conner?
Yeah, James Conner. You got James Conner, and you got Edmonds. I like both of those backs. I'm pretty sure you probably take them on the Miami Dolphins.
Have we seen them in the playoffs? Do we have numbers for them in the playoffs and who they played against? I mean, that's the whole thing. I think we're basing this too much off of what previously has transpired, and a lot of times we don't focus on being in the moment. We use the analytics and the stats and previous history to kind of give us an idea of what we can expect this year. But what we don't do is we don't take into account what has changed, what truly has changed. Arizona between last year and this year, to me, with the key pieces that they've added in, have made themselves just a more complete team. I feel like the defense will get better. Listen, I'll be the first one to say it, and I'm biased when I say it. They added my favorite tight end, and look what he did his first game out there. I mean, yes, it was against Houston. Okay, it was against Houston, but still, he made an impact.
Yeah, I was going to – that's what I was going to say. We still haven't
seen Larry Fitzgerald.
Larry Fitzgerald's a free agent, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Christian Kirk is coming into his own. You've got
Rondell Moore.
AJ Green.
Rondell Moore.
AJ Green.
Oh, and by the way, again, my opinion, the best wide receiver in the league, and DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. But he's spreading that thing around. You can't deny that.
Right.
Like Kyler, he ain't just throwing it to D-Hop. He's giving it to everybody. Like I said, that, and I like their backs. I mean, I don't really think. I don't know. I have to look at the defense, but I don't think the defense has much of a. Even to me, the defense don't have very many
Patrick
weaknesses.
Peterson,
You like James Conner averaging under 4 yards a carry?
I mean, he's sharing time with he's not the starter.
Right. He's not getting.
Who is the starter?
It's not like
Edmonds.
they're feeding him.
That's who.
Yes,
I mean,
but you like their running back when he's averaging under 4 yards a carry.
But okay, John.
Yeah, but 6.4 yesterday.
It's the Texans.
I mean,
you're basing this off the fact that he's the number one back. Yes, Connor might be the number one back, but Connor ain't the only one out there, getting the ball. Kyler Murray is truly doing what a lot of people consider to be Madden-esque. He's spreading the ball around, letting you know it don't matter who I throw it to or who I hand it off to. I've got playmakers in the slot position, the inside-outside wide receiver position.
I just
the
don't
tight
buy
end
him.
position.
I don't buy him. I think if you put him up against a Dallas, I think Dallas would stop him. I really do. I think if Dallas could contain Kyler Murray, I don't think that defense could hold the offense of the Cowboys. And I think that's a problem.
In the chat today. He did say that in the chat today.
I think that's a problem for the Cardinals is when they play like a Tampa Bay or somebody like that. I know they got one against the Rams, but when they play like a Tampa Bay, I just don't know if they can keep up.
It's okay. Listen, division rivals. I'll give you that one, John. Division rivals, like I always say, throw the rule book and everything else out the window because anything and everything is possible. And you're probably right. When the rematch does happen between the Arizona Cardinals and the LA Rams,
usually you don't sweep. Usually
you don't. So the Rams are going to get their just due. We know that to be the case, but you cannot ignore who Arizona is this year. And to me, at 7-0 right now, and I'm not thinking about Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh's a whole nother conference. If it was someone in the NFC or even in the NFC West that went 11-0 and then fell off.
I'm just saying we saw this last year with the team
these are
going
two
11-0.
separate teams. Ben Roethlisberger was washed.
Yeah, our third-string quarterback almost beat him. Come on now.
And they had Tomlin compared to Cliff Kingsbury. I like Tomlin.
No, hold on. And that's where I want to go with this. I think the difference maker is Cliff Kingsbury. Now they did add some pieces, but I think it's time for the people, mainly the people in Lubbock, Texas, to quit criticizing Cliff Kingsbury. He was not the problem at Texas Tech, and he has, in my opinion, he is solidifying, not quite there, but almost solidifying himself as an excellent NFL coach.
I don't see it.
Well, look, I said this.
See it.
I
saw what he was last year when they melted down and let the Bears back into the playoffs. That's who Cliff Kingsbury is, and I don't trust him.
Kyler Murray was hurt.
Keep basing your picks off of last season and see how it goes, because this season is switching it up.
Yeah, and that's my thing. Okay, so John, I hate to side with Mike on a lot of things, okay? Because you know me and Mike, we do not agree on much.
Well, Mike has a weird infatuation with the Cardinals.
But this is what I'm saying. Well, he lives out there, so that's what I'm saying. But this is what I'm saying to you. When you were talking about how Miami is making changes and Miami's making moves and Miami's doing things differently and watching what they could become.
Based on what they were last year.
Based on what they were last year. Yeah. But then look at where Miami is this year, based on where they were last year. You can't say that about Miami and then not say the same exact thing about Arizona. Arizona made changes.
Well, Miami Miami is more, there's something wrong internally in that front office. There's something going on behind the scenes.
There's something wrong.
Okay. So no. I'm gonna run with John on this one. So fine, there's something wrong internally inside the front office of the Miami Dolphins. What did I start to show off saying? There's something wrong in the front office of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yep.
But
hey, James told you what's wrong in the comments.
What? Hold on. What did he say? He said, we know the Dolphins will always be trash without Snowflake. Oh, my God. Okay.
Was that when Dak's ankle was that way or that way?
Hey.
Wow.
Ankle look fine to me right now.
Oh,
I'm saying.
How many yards he throw for yesterday or last week?
I was going to say y'all were off last week.
But last week, how many he throw for?
Who's he playing?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, he plays.
No, our schedule's soft. Right. Our schedule's soft right now. I don't disagree with that. But come on now, don't compare the Dolphins to us.
It's soft, all right.
But what I'm basically saying because this could go on all night is
I wish Mike was here.
I know, I do too. When we look at last year versus this year, there are certain things that yes, we can take from that. We can put in a box, in a microcosm, if you will, and say, okay, here are the few points where this team is still going to be the same. But as you evolve, which it looks like Arizona, Cliff Kingsbury, Kyler Murray, and the rest of that squad are doing, they are elevating themselves. Why? Because number one, they recognize they are in one of the toughest divisions in the entire NFL, in the NFC West. It may not translate that right now, but between the Rams, the Cardinals, and the 49ers.
Don't say the 49ers. Don't say the 49ers. They're 2-4.
Fine. They beat Miami.
Between the four teams, now the Rams and the Arizona Cardinals have separated themselves from the 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. Okay? So right there, you can look. So now you take those two teams, all right? Those two teams, one of them, we were all pretty much sold on winning this division. And one of them, we were all like, well, if they might get 10, they might get 11. You said 8, I said 9. We didn't have them winning the division. We had them sliding in the wild card. And what I'm saying to you is right now, this team, as currently constructed today, October 25th, 2021, is on course to get the number 1 seed because they are undefeated. Everybody else has at least one loss. Tampa has a loss. Rams has a loss. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this isn't the AFC where you have a Buffalo or a Baltimore or a Kansas City. And I can't believe I'm about to throw this name out my mouth, but if they continually play well, a Cincinnati, which we're going to get to.
Megan's favorite team.
Oh, my Lord.
No, me and Megan both are on the same page when it comes to Cincinnati.
I got to eat some crow.
You and me both, Megan. You and me both. Matter of fact,
I can't wait to see what record she had for them.
Oh man, no, it's bad. You know what? It's bad. I want to say 2. I think I gave them 2 wins.
We're going to go to break. You're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Cincinnati Bengals. More with the sports arena in just a moment.
Generations Physical Therapy has been the Tri-State's leader in physical therapy services for over 20 years. And now we have a convenient location right in the heart of the capital city of Charleston, just off I-64. With convenient parking and flexible hours, your access to physical therapy is second to none. Plus, Snap Fitness is also in sight with 2 floors of gym equipment and sports enhancement training through A-Game Sports Performance. So whether you're needing hands-on physical therapy or looking to get results in our gym, our family's ready to help yours. Generations Physical Therapy and Snap Fitness. Multiple services, multiple locations. Experience you can count on.
And welcome back into the Sports Arena alongside Megan Price, John Shear, and Tyree. Make sure you check all these people out on all their social media facets. They are doing some phenomenal, tremendous work. Ty, I don't know how you put up with James Harris each and every week. So I'm giving you your flowers tonight, brother, because putting up with James's mouth, whether Dallas is winning or losing, not sorry, Megan. That man.
Look, no, Chuck said that's why they don't let him talk much on the show.
I was like, what? I was like, damn. It's like, damn. Ty, take control of your show, bro. That's what I'm telling you. Anyhow. All right, let's
the
get to.
The dude just want to run his lips about the Cowboys, and got another dude on there that just want to say career over to everything. I got something for him now.
Okay. So let's talk about the Cincinnati Bengals, and I got the sheet right here. I was the only one. The guy who is not a fan of Cincinnati, was the only one to give them 5 wins. The rest of y'all, 2, 3, 4. We gotta show love to Cincinnati right now.
We do.
John, you wearing orange, so I'm gonna let you go first, bro.
Nah, see what happened was I had Pittsburgh going 4-13. I had Cincinnati going 9-8. I think it's
that's a Mike move.
I think it's a typo. Typo.
Yeah, I mean they surprised everybody yesterday. Nobody expected them to go into Baltimore and just manhandle the Ravens. I mean, we all expected them to somehow the Ravens have been playing really well. So none of us expected the Ravens to play this poorly at home, where they won 5 in a row in this series. They played 1 game against Joe Burrow last year in MNT, and they beat him about 27-3. So nobody expected this. I expected Marlon Humphrey to shut down Jamar Chase, and then really there's not a whole lot else that is going to dominate for Cincinnati. And Cincinnati just manhandled the Ravens in MNT, which doesn't happen to the Ravens hardly ever. So we got to give the Bengals their props for a statement win, and they're in first place.
Man,
unbelievable.
First
place. They're tied with the Ravens.
Okay,
oh my goodness.
Megan, I think I need to join the sip off one night because
you got to drink a little bit when you talk about
that's
this.
What he's saying.
Yeah. The Cincinnati Bengals are in first place in the AFC North.
That might be the best division right now in football.
Jamar Chase had 201 yards yesterday, like out of 8 receptions, just 8 receptions, 201 yards. That's ridiculous.
That's why you better put some respect on his name.
Yeah, you do. You absolutely do.
Yes,
Burrow went 23 of 38 for 416 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did have an interception. Not too surprising with that being more defense. But, their schedule is going into a really soft stretch, though. They have the Jets, the Browns, the Raiders, Steelers, and then they don't actually play a real serious team until Week 12 when they play the Chargers.
Don't knock the Steelers because them and the Bengals always fight it out.
Who did this schedule?
I don't know.
Who did this schedule? So the middle of the season, when teams begin to separate themselves and we can pretty much determine who's in the playoffs and who's going for draft picks, you mean to tell me Cincinnati has a legitimate chance of getting themselves to the postseason?
Yes.
What?
They just went into Baltimore and stomped the Ravens. So
in Beemore, I'm just shocked. They sacked Lamar 5 times yesterday. Like Kobe, 5.
I know. I'm just okay. Man, hold on.
Man, they hit Lamar like Anthony Davis hit Dwight Howard.
Nah, what man, he ain't do nothing but push him down in that seat. Stop it, man. But I will say this: all that I ain't heard none of that Justin Fields for Rookie of the Year talk. I was here earlier in the year. But
yeah, okay. Again, that's bad coaching. I blame.
You had negative points in there.
They're really ruining
it. Hey, you know what I realized on the show, man? You know what I realized on the show? Two things y'all y'all got to go to, but when something ain't going right, coaching, front office, always. It's never the players. It's never my team just didn't perform.
Look, no, I said the coaching was the positive in
up to their capability. But now it's when the Cowboys is doing bad, it's the coaching. It's this. Is that
you tell me you want one of those Cowboys coaches on your team? No.
Now it's Miami.
You're going to lose Kellen Moore after the year anyway.
Now Miami got something going on behind the scenes. Y'all got to stop, man.
No, please come get Mike McCarthy right now.
No, I meant you're losing.
San Francisco just not performing up to their capability. That's I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna blame it on coaching. I ain't gonna blame it on the front office. We just not playing well.
There's something funny going on between
playing for
Mike Shanahan or Kyle Shanahan and Brandon Ayuk. I have no idea what the heck is going on in that relationship. Something funny going on there because he won't use Ayuk, a first round pick, and he won't use him.
It's
something funny going on in there.
It's something funny going on with Snowflake the Dolphin and Finkel.
I told you something weird was going on behind the scenes.
Okay, Ty, since you want to bring up the fact that I'm going to immediately go to coaching and front office. Listen,
that's y'all go-tos.
If you don't have good coaching or front office
with the Cardinals, they're coaching.
Let me take a page out of our brother's playbook.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got a bunch of midgets on the field trying to run routes.
But you do that when you drafted them, though.
Hold on. I don't have a true tight end that can fill the shoes of Zach Ertz, but he gonna try to. And I've got a quarterback who only can scramble to the right because when he scrambles to the left, he is unsuccessful. It has been proven. So now let me flip to the defensive side and say, to quote our brother, that defense can't cover the four of us. Okay, you run a slant route in or out, you will beat my corners. So you want to say I don't talk about my players? I could talk about each and every single one of the players on my team, but that would take 3 hours, and we ain't got that kind of time. But when I look at the totality of the situation, those guys did not ask to come to Philly. They were drafted, traded, or brought into Philly. The coach was given an opportunity because of the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts who co-signed for him. The general manager of our team has not been doing his job even when we were winning and when we did win our Super Bowl. But it's the whole entire team from top to bottom.
But Eric, but this is my thing. What's wrong with saying I was wrong? I thought you XYZ. I don't know. No. Listen real quick. Listen. Hold on. No. Listen real quick. What's wrong with saying I thought XYZ and ABC happened? Y'all want to say the coach,
did we not just
the
do
front
that
office,
when we got
the owner, the fans, Santa Claus. Y'all blaming everybody.
Listen, what do I always say? I am a man and I ain't a hard man to find. I'll take my lumps as well as celebrate my victories. So you know what? 2 weeks ago, I was on here and y'all could not shut me up about how the Chicago Sky did what I needed them to do and win their very first championship. But I will sit here 2 Mondays after the fact and I will tell you this straight to your face. And please look at me when I say this to you. I was wrong about my Philadelphia Eagles for this season. I was wrong. It's taped. It's recorded. Yeah, there's probably going to be a meme about me saying this from now until I die.
But this, I don't understand though, because he's saying he can't wait till reality hits. And I'm not running my lips about everybody. I'm just saying, like, when my team don't play well, I just say, hey, they ain't play well. I don't come on here and say, man, the front office, man, the coaching, man, the fans, man, Santa Claus ran across the field. But
how can you not?
I don't do that. Like,
how can you not? Justin Fields, who's played less than half of a season in his career, he's played less than half a season. You can't put this on him. We knew that he was a raw talent coming in. We knew that the offense was bad. The offensive line is bad. The coaching staff is bad. We knew this. We knew it was going to be where he's going to take a lot of lumps when he played. We knew this.
But y'all wanted to play him. Some people on the show wanted to play him from week one.
We were talking about when the best time would be to put him in. Because if the Bears are trying to win, he gives them a better chance than Andy Dalton. I mean, let's be honest about that.
Hey, Chuck, my fault.
I don't want to do it. Do it.
But no matter who was playing, they're not going to the playoffs. They're such a bad team that they're not going to the playoffs regardless. But if you're trying to get to the playoffs, if you're the Bears at the beginning of the season, Fields gives you a better chance.
They just went to the playoffs last year.
They backed into the playoffs because the Cardinals fell apart.
The Cardinals didn't fall apart. Kyler Murray was hurt.
They fell apart. Losing is
losing. Man, the dude was hurt,
L's
man.
Are L's. You take your L's.
Look at his stats and then look at his stats over the stretch where he was hurt and tell me it wasn't
different. They lost. It doesn't matter. It's the NFL.
I know. Somebody else's team on here fell apart too. I'm just saying.
Oh, so are we talking about the AFC East or are we talking about the NFC? Because you seem to
because you keep saying they fell apart, bro. He was hurt.
The Dolphins play on? Do the Dolphins play in the NFC? Mike Caradenudo?
I don't know if they play in the NFL at all. I think they play in the CFL.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Your team lost last night too.
Their owner is The Rock.
We lost to a team that's probably going to make the
Anyway,
playoffs.
the Cardinals fell apart and the Bears backed into the playoffs. It was not an appearance where any Bears fan should have been like, "Oh yeah, we made the playoffs." No, that
they made the playoffs. They made the playoffs, yes or no?
You backed into the playoffs. That's
but someone made the
playoffs.
They made the playoffs, yes or no?
That's not something you hang a banner for.
Playoffs is the playoffs.
Okay,
yes,
that's loser talk right there.
Your teammate, what last time in the playoffs?
Huh? That's what I'm saying. If a Bears fan talks like that, or he's like, "Yeah, we made the playoffs."
Okay.
Good for you.
John, I'm going to mute y'all. We got to keep it moving really quick. Megan, if you could please.
Okay.
Getting back to the original point, because I love this. What are the next 5 teams for Cincinnati, please?
Jets, Browns, Raiders, Steelers, Chargers.
3-2.
Browns are 37% of their roster are injured. Both their running backs are injured.
They'll beat the Jets. They'll beat the Browns.
They're getting Nick Chubb back this Sunday.
This Sunday?
Yeah. The Browns are. So they'll have him back versus the
But that's one person out of 37%
that's
of the roster.
Nick Chubb is.
No, it is. It is. That's almost as important as the QB. But that's still 37% of their roster. So that takes it down to what? 32% of their roster is injured?
Right, Chuck. That's what I said. Chuck said they will lose 2 or 3 of those games. I said they will go 3-2 in that 5-game span. They'll win 3, they'll lose 2. That's what I
think they lose to the Chargers for sure. Yes, I don't know.
They will lose to the Chargers.
They might lose to the Raiders. I was wrong about them this year too, but I don't know.
Don't give the Raiders any credit. I mean, come on, look at some of the teams that they just went and beat. They beat the Eagles. They beat us. The only thing that
I give the Raiders credit for is Derek Carr. He's not a bad quarterback.
No, he's not.
They beat bad teams. The only good win was against the Ravens. I mean, other than that, the Raiders they beat the Broncos.
Being a good team, though, you're saying
no. We're talking about the Raiders. I'm talking about the Raiders because you mentioned the Raiders.
But I'm saying like none of us had Cincinnati being a good team. Like
no, I didn't
consider they're a bad team. And they came in and they won 5 games already.
I didn't think Joe Burrow would recover from his ACL injury.
No, I didn't either.
That fast. That was my.
And they didn't draft to protect him either, and so I thought that was going to be a major problem. And he proved me wrong.
We were all like, why would you not protect the brother?
Right.
But instead, you
had an opportunity.
But I hate to say it, can't none of them linemen catch for 201 like my boy did yesterday.
Right.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. I was wrong about Jamar Chase. I was wrong about him. So, speaking of guys recovering from injury, last topic of the night. And again, I'm not going to repeat myself that much, but we got about a week and a half left. November 3rd. Right here on the Sports Arena for 1 hour. It is going to be Megan Price from 806 in the Sip-Off. It is going to be our girl, Ruth the Truth.
Let me message Ashley right now.
Possibly Miss Ashley Baker.
I would like to have her on.
You said James November Harris, 3rd, right?
November 3rd. Yep. And our boy, Mike Carritenuto, discussing their team in Dallas. With that being said, let's get to them. This is going to be the most nauseating part of my show tonight. God. But anyhow, sitting atop the division, sitting at 5-1. Is that y'all's record?
It is. That is correct.
Yes, Tyler, it's an hour show about the Cowboys. All about the Cowboys.
I don't understand it, Tyler. I don't get the infatuation with the Cowboys.
There is no infatuation. I am trying to be respectful of the fact that this team, for the last quarter of a century, that has not been as good as the fans want them to be, and I've always truly called them the walking piece of mediocrity that is the Dallas Cowboys. For this season, they are standing atop the division and making a case while they might actually do something. So, because I have people who are friends, who are family, that I love, who I respect, I am going to give them the opportunity to talk about their team. Listen, if Philly was 6-1 or 5-1, I'd have an Eagles conversation. You
have an Eagles conversation with their record now.
I do. You find me 4 Cardinals fans that want to have a conversation about the Arizona Cardinals, I'll put that show on. But I have to show respect, okay? Love them or hate them, and I don't like them. I got to respect the fact that they're 5-1 right now.
Can I say just one thing?
Please.
Mike talks enough to make up for Cardinals fans. So, I mean.
That is correct.
Hey, Mike, I know when you watch the replay, we love you, brother. But man, listen, it's just who Mike is. That's why we love him. So that being said, 5-1. I know you have their schedule probably pinned to your wall in your bedroom when you're looking at your future ex-husband, Dakota Prescott.
I'm glad you said his full name.
But Megan, I can't ignore, even with Mike McCarthy as a head coach, I cannot ignore what this team is doing. So I will give you the floor to talk about your team. And, you've had your bye. So now you've got to persevere through the rest of this season.
Well, and thank goodness we had a bye. Dak caught an injury in the last game. He had a calf strain. So, that gave him the extra rest that he needs. And he's coming off, as we know, the massive injury on his ankle. He had a shoulder injury in the preseason. So he was looking kind of banged up, or looking to come into the season banged up. And to me, he looks great. He looks excellent. I'm concerned about this next game coming up, the Vikings. It's always an interesting game for us. They played the Cardinals. They played the Cardinals the best out of any other team. They lost to the Cardinals 33-34. So they're the ones that gave the Cardinals, the undefeated team in the NFL, the best game. So it's always interesting when Dallas plays the Vikings. I'm concerned about our defense. I'm not, today on First Take, Michael Irving was talking about that the Cowboys were the best or the strongest competition for the Cardinals. I don't agree with that. I'm not ready to say that defense is quite there yet. I do think we're on the right road, but I don't think that we're quite there yet. Dak looks great though. And what are you doing?
Hey, First Cousins. Hey, man, listen.
No, don't call them First Cousins now. No, don't call them First Cousins now.
Hey, man, listen, I know we don't have our differences in the past. I know you and me do not get along.
I'd probably hang up if I was him.
But I'm going to need a favor from you. I'm going to need you and Justin Jefferson. You're welcome, by the way, because we gave you that one from Philly. I'm going to need you to handle your business with Dalvin and Justin Jefferson against the Cowboys for me. I know we ain't seen eye to eye, but I promise you, you beat the Cowboys for me this week coming up. Hey, you like that? I'll scream that the rest of this season. Holla.
Eric is not getting an invite to Eric's not getting an invite to the Thanksgiving dinner from Cousins. He ain't getting that invite.
No,
well, and if they win, you're not getting the invite.
You were saying he was trash.
Hey, Ty, why are you bringing?
But then after that,
I'm just saying because only person calling First Cousins is me and
Why are you bringing up old stuff, man? Let it go, Ty. I'm trying to make amends here.
Nah, don't try to make amends now, man. Make
only
amends
if he beats my team.
Make amends with Jalen Hurts and those 5'2" wide receivers y'all got.
Yeah, I'm working on that. Okay, I done sent edible arrangements. I done sent everything I possibly could. They getting Christmas cards from me. I'm trying, man. I don't know what else to do with my team right now. John, you got any advice for bad teams? I mean,
no. If I knew anything, I would fix my team first.
Okay,
right.
I'm just saying, Ty. I mean, listen. Let's be real though. You 2-4.
Oh,
and I've already talked on it. I said that we need to play better. We haven't been playing good. I mean, it's what it is.
All right. So
I don't have no excuses. I'm still going to wear my 49ers shirt. I'm still going to wear my jersey. I'm still going to wear my lanyard. Like we 16-0, baby.
All right. 17-0.
17-0, whatever.
John, talk to me about the Cowboys because they're an improvement from where they have been.
Well, nobody's talking about how DeMarcus Lawrence has been out for a while. They're going to get him back. But La'el Collins is suspended. They're going to get him back. They haven't had Michael Gallup all season. They're about to get him back.
Mm-hmm.
So the Cowboys have been banged up. I mean, there was games where they were missing some more linemen. There's games that were really missing guys. And the only team they lost to is the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers on opening night. And they almost beat them, if not for a bogus, flag that didn't get called. If that play goes the other way, maybe the Cowboys are undefeated. But anyway, all these injuries right now, the Cowboys are still just one loss. And as long as Dak is healthy with his calf, and they're coming off a bye, and you're right, Eric, they have a long way to go, early bye to a long season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that at all. But if the Cowboys can stay healthy and get healthy, watch out. They're going to be dangerous. They're playing really well, both sides of the ball. Diggs will come back to earth a little bit. I mean, the 7 picks is a little bit,
Really,
you're going to
though?
come back down to earth.
Really,
but,
though? Because
no, okay, but my thing about Diggs, and I agree, John, because he's on a great pace with the picks, but he gets beat in coverage all the time.
Yeah, he takes a lot of chances.
Yeah,
but I'm not knocking him.
Off.
I'm not knocking him. I'm saying what Megan's saying is he takes a lot of chances, and some pay off, and some don't. You don't see the burn plays as much because the interceptions overshadow that. But the interceptions will come down. They're getting DeMarcus Lawrence back. That's going to help against the better teams when they play the better teams. That's going to help.
Which DeMarcus Lawrence? The one before the contract or the one after the contract?
No,
aside from Diggs, he's their best defensive player, and he's missing 5 games. That's gigantic. I mean, people don't understand how great that guy was playing before he got knocked out. He's a big piece of that team. He's one of their best players. So when they get him back and they get Lyle Collins, who's a fantastic player, and Michael Gallup, they're dangerous. I mean, I have to give them their credit. I can't knock them, and they've been banged up, and they've been playing this well.
I love hearing that, John.
Before you go, Megan, I just want to say this. Shout out to my Chicago Sky brother, Tyler Ingram. We're not writing off the Packers. It's just right now, Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, they're playing on a different level. But if Devontae doesn't play on Thursday and Arizona finds a way or does get the job done, it's just going to be a matter of, like Aaron Rodgers said in his post game, the coaching and the efficiencies. We've got to see better. And when we do, trust me, we will give them the credit that they deserve.
And we're talking about a team winning the NFC, right? Like, who can compete with the Cardinals for the NFC?
Oh, yeah, the Packers can.
Because the Packers aren't winning the NFC. Yeah. We know Aaron Rodgers' track record in the NFC Championship, so I'm not even worried about putting him there.
Okay. All right.
Well,
1 and 5.
I think the Packers have the ability to get there. I don't know if they have the ability to win it all. But
they have the ability to get there, but I'm not worried about them winning.
I like some of the additions they made too.
True.
But
right.
I will say this to comment on DeMarcus Lawrence. Over the last if you combine the last 2 years, he's missed 1 game. But he's barely had.
Are you counting this year?
No. I'm going. No, I know you say he's coming back, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But the last year he had 6.5 sacks. The year before that he had 5. Now, if you go back to the 2018, 2017, that's when he was getting double-digit sacks. That's when he garnered the big contract that he has. But as far as the Cowboys go, the one thing I will say is they kind of remind me of their defense isn't that good. I think they live off takeaways. They've been getting a lot of takeaways. Obviously, 7 interceptions. I mean, what can you say? There's probably some teams that don't even have 7 interceptions as a team. So, I mean, but, they're living off takeaways. I've always loved their offense the past few years. I think that maybe the play calling could have been better before. But, I mean, with Dak back, Zeke, I like Pollard. I mean, I like their weapons. You know what I mean? I've always have. And just to touch off your point, Ty, with how good their offense is, you can live with your defense being that way because that's how the Saints won a championship. It's how the Chiefs won a championship. You don't have to have the best defense. They just have to be able to take the ball away at time to time and give more opportunities for Dak. You do, but I really like to see them against a good team. Like, I think this week against the Vikings, not to say the Vikings is a good team, but I think they're a good opponent for the Cowboys for us to kind of measure, even though the Vikings defense is not very good. But we'll get to see how the Cowboys defense looks against a pretty good offense. Because, regardless of what we could say about the Vikings, First Cousins, Jefferson, my boy, hopefully my boy will finally be healthy again. Goodness gracious, man. I got him on my fantasy. He's been in and out. And Thielen's not having that great of a year either. But I think this will probably be, other than when they played the Bucs, I think this will be the best offense they played against so far. I haven't looked at the schedule.
It's fair.
All right. Fair enough. Megan, it's your team. I'm going to give you the final word, and we're going to ride out of here.
Feed Zeke. Zeke is back. They're in sync with each other again, despite Mike McCarthy. They realize how they need to not only use Zeke, but, that 1-2 punch with that we see that works out so well when the Browns are healthy with their 2 running backs. So, and then on top of that, you put a quarterback that can throw for 400 yards with that. It's our year. I'm just joking. We're probably not winning it, but we look good.
Never seen that much confidence from Megan in my life.
I don't want to jinx us, but we look good and it feels good because last season, I was pretty angry after every single game. Even the games we won, it didn't look good. We looked awful.
Oh, so how I feel this year. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
She was more confident. She's more confident there in her Cowboys than she was the Dallas Wings.
No.
No, she wasn't confident when talking about her wings against your Sky. She wasn't that confident.
No.
She's more confident
right there. They won. They won it all. I wasn't.
No, I'm saying that you weren't that confident in your wings when they played the Sky. You were like,
because there were. I was confident, but I knew who we were facing.
John, that's not true.
We got Enrique. We got Yes. We got Satu. Yeah. Like we have some major pieces there, but we don't have the experience and the experienced leadership that the Sky has. And fire Derek Fisher immediately, expeditiously.
Whoa!
For allowing Candace Parker to walk from the Sparks. Fire him right now.
Wow. Fisher's got a good job.
He's the general manager?
Yep. Well, no, and he's the coach. He's the
president, general manager, head of basketball.
No, I don't think so.
Get him out of
here. He's general manager.
But I will say this. I just want to make a couple of comments real quick.
Sure.
That was my.
So Tom Brady, 43 years old, leading the league in yards. That's impressive to me. For as bad as people have been talking about Patrick Mahomes, he's still fourth in yards. I mean, hey, I know he has his bye week, boy. And Derrick Henry, almost 900 yards in week 8. Goodness gracious, that's all I want.
He's on pace to break the rushing record.
Man, and you said he was going to regress this year.
Who said that?
John.
I didn't say that.
I was worried about his health with how many carries.
And Zeke's in the top 5, Megan.
I know this. That's why I said feed Zeke. Zeke is back.
With about 17 carries a game, I like that one.
And I'm shocked to see Cooper Kupp leading the league. And
I was going to talk about.
He's really good when healthy.
When you talked about D-Hop being the best receiver in the league, now I do agree. Yes. I do think he is the best receiver in the league, but Cooper is making a run at it.
Devontae's the best, in my opinion.
What?
Devontae Adams is the best receiver.
You cannot leave Cooper out of that.
Because Madden put him in the 99
No,
club?
because
the
footwork.
Let me look in your John direction.
Watch.
So John, you trying to tell me that Devontae Adams in the Madden 99 club?
You got to look the other way, John.
Look, you got to watch that footwork when Devontae Adams tries to bust a cornerback. He break his ankles.
But look what D-Hop is able to do. This man's able to break away, and then even if you
look what he's done this year, he done nothing.
Him nor Diggs ain't having a very good season so far.
I told you about Diggs.
Fine. We're going to have this conversation at a later time, John.
Fine.
And as much as I talk about my boy Kyle Pitts, he in the top 20. Put some respect on his name.
Hey, he beat the Dolphins. I'll give him love.
That's not hard. The Jags beat us. Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us here on the Sports Minute tonight. For Megan Price, Ty Ray, John Shear, please make sure throughout the rest of the week you check them out on all their shows because they do phenomenal work. This is why I love working with this crew. We'll be back Wednesday night. It's going to be open for them. I don't know what we're going to talk about. I'm sure there's more to talk about. Does anybody know what the score of this Monday Night Football game is? Because
it's 10 all.
That's it?
Yeah, Gino, I don't know what the heck. Gino killing me.
Hey, we love y'all. Everyone have a great night. Hug your loved ones. Everybody stay blessed. Peace.
Good night.